honored to be speaking with all of you today, and I want to get straight into the word. So I'm going to read from 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 4 through 5. And it says, "The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ." You know, I think a lot of us might say that we feel like we lost some battles in 2020. You know, 2020 was a year that none of us saw coming, so it was filled with battles that none of us could have expected. So it's a very real place and a very honest place if you're saying that to yourself, and it's okay, I understand you because I'm saying that too. I got to the end of 2020 and I felt like I had no fight left in me. But how many of us know we serve a God who never loses, who never fails? So those battles that we feel like we lost back in 2020, I still believe there is victory yet to come in them. And you know, when I think about these verses in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, I started to question myself. I started to wonder about the battles that I felt like I lost, and I had to be honest with myself. I looked back at them and I asked, well, what weapons was I fighting with? Were they divine weapons of God, or were they the weapons of this world? And if I'm being honest with you, I was fighting with the weapons of this world. I was fighting with fear and despair and hopelessness and exhaustion. That's why I came to the end feeling like I had no more fight in me. But if I had been fighting with divine weapons, if I had been fighting with faith, with my trust in God, with his strength working through me, if I had been fighting with hope and love and peace, maybe I would feel different right now. If I had been fighting with this right here, with the word of God, I would have felt differently. I think a lot of us can get into the midst of a battle and just cry out to God and ask him to deliver us from that battle, when maybe we should be opening up the word of God to see how he wants to direct us through those battles, right? You know, if we're picking up these divine weapons, what battles do we have to be afraid of? And I'm not prophesying trials and tribulations over you, but we were not promised an easy and perfect life. So when the battle does come our way, let's make sure we're picking up these divine weapons so that we can face them head on and say, I'm ready to fight. And we're not fighting for what we feel like we lost in 2020. No, we're fighting for everything there is to claim victory over in 2021. We're fighting for the advancement of the kingdom. We're fighting for breakthrough and restoration, for chains to be broken. We're fighting for the oppressed and the lost and the brokenhearted, for the people who have been silenced in our world for far too long. We are fighting for God's peace and his glory to reign over this fallen and broken world. That's what we're fighting for. We are fighting for the things that God's heart fights for. So college, let's make the decision right now that when we're faced with the battle, we're going to pick up the divine weapons of God. We're going to stand firm, and we are going to fight. And we're going to do it together.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I think you can turn on a notification bell. It'll be here or here, maybe here, and follow us on Instagram at @thestudios_HC.